Smokehouse, Adam Breezy Hill Farm and Restaurant, and Da Vinci at Nova Del. Head over to WPKYOnline.com to enter the Date Night Dinners giveaway. Contest ends June 30th.
1580 103.3 WPKY, and of course, Coffee Talk. We're just so excited. 8:27, I'll tell you, it is sloppy. I think sloppy is about as nice as I can be about that, Chad. It forced me to play Purple Rain earlier. I couldn't help myself.
It's a great song.
Of course, speaking of Prince, so but you're growing him back. He's already got his beard back. The other day I started saying he was the artist formerly known as the bearded artist. I don't know if anybody got the Prince reference, but he did.
Yeah.
So, of course, Chad Oliver from our Caldwell County, or Princeton Caldwell Chamber of Commerce is with us this morning. And I'll tell you, the new member was with us yesterday during Coffee Talk, and they were so much fun.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
Dairy Queen, I'm telling you, I could not get enough of them. Marty was such a nice guy.
Yeah, I know. We're looking forward to that ribbon cutting today and just getting to know them. I've been in touch with them over the past 3 weeks, and just super nice people. So, we're beyond excited. I know everyone is to have Dairy Queen back.
Well, we've missed it. How many? I think he said 15 years, but I thought maybe it had been a little longer than that.
Like it's longer, I think.
It really does.
Yeah.
But, he had said at least 15 years since we've had Dairy Queen here. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. We have mourned it, I think, ever since. Because that was like an institution. When we were kids, we'd go have a softball game in the middle of summer, and I couldn't wait to get those frozen blueberry drinks.
Yeah.
And that's when they started throwing the nerds in there and all that. That was the best thing. Like after Bible study on Wednesday nights at church, we'd all our Bible study group or whatever from church. Back then it was ACT teens.
Yeah,
that tells you how old I am. But our ACT teens group would go up to Dairy Queen and always have a little treat after church. So that was just what you did.
Yeah, every Sunday night I can remember growing up. That's where we always would go, was Dairy Queen, and get a Blizzard and hamburger, and that was just the place.
Oh, my kids get so excited to go to Dawson because they can go to not that I don't love you, Dawson, but I'm probably not going to come see you as often as what I used to. Now that we got our own Dairy Queen, I don't have to. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited about that. That was my first job.
Really?
Yeah. No, not really, but it was my first big girl job.
Right.
Official, pay taxes, a big girl job. That was at Dairy Queen.
Right.
I mean, the farm stuff,
Right.
But, the Dairy Queen, I used to make the swirl on top of the cone.
I heard you mention that yesterday.
Yeah. And my first Blizzard, I turned upside down. It fell right out of the cup. I'll never forget Ken looking at me going, well, I think you got to do that one again, don't you?
Yeah.
But that was one. I think everybody kind of applied when they were 16 to Dairy Queen back then. That was just the thing.
Yeah. It's these young kids have really, for our generation now, have really got it good with all the employment that they've got, the opportunities, and especially here at Dairy Queen. I mean, it's...
Oh, my gravy. I was thinking about between that and our meat packing place. Over 150 jobs just between the two of them, and that is right here in Princeton. That's not close driving an hour. That is right here. That's 150 jobs within two companies.
Yeah, and Porter Road,
but
end of
Porter,
2020, end of 2020, they'll, hopes of being fully here. And
well, I know Mr. Clark said that they had already hired 60 over at Dairy Queen, and they were expected to hire at least 70.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's, to me, just, you talk about really taking an interest and really supporting your community right there.
Yeah.
So I think that's wonderful. I think a lot of not only our kids, but we've got some grown-ups that are really benefiting from that. A lot of families that are benefiting from that. And I think it's going to do a lot for our economy here.
Yeah, it will. And, when he said serving up smiles, they smile servers.
How cool is that?
I thought that's just so, it's so cool. Why would you not want to work there?
Well, let's see, my job title was a smile server.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that ain't bad. I mean, if that's what your job title is, I mean, that ain't bad.
Yeah.
Mine's motor mouth, but if I could be a smile server, I'm thinking that would be amazing.
Yeah.
What do you do? I serve smiles.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah, that is so cool, though. I mean, especially nowadays, we need smiles. So
we really do. How else is the chamber doing?
Good.
We've got a brand new smile serving ice cream member.
Yeah.
I mean, top that one, will you?
Yeah. Gosh, we have been over the past 3.5 months during all this coronavirus that we've been growing. I mean, just by leaps and bounds, it has not slowed down. I mean, we have may not been out like we would be, during the time that we were more operational, but now we're getting back into that. But during that time, we've probably had 1 or 2 new members even a month during all that. So they see the growth we're going through, and it's everybody's coming together and supporting that local, and we're community driven. So it's great. It's great.
I'll tell you, I got an email yesterday. I've got a surprise that I'm going to announce in the morning. I've got another new guest in another new place that'll tickle your taste buds that is going to be with me on Coffee Talk on Friday. So I'm pretty excited about that one too.
Great.
Again, you and I talked about it the last time we were here. We didn't hit the brakes, we hit the gas pedal.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of jobs that have been brought in the last if you want a job, you can find one. You don't have to go anywhere to find one.
When you look at Dakota, I mean, Dakota has done for our community what he's bringing in and helping, and just, I mean, what more praise can you give a person, So that speaks for our community, and it's something we talk about, time and time again. It's it's a great time to be a part of the chamber because how fast we're growing and how big we're getting, and just bringing all these businesses in, and people getting out and shopping, and it's what we need, to come together and forget all this mess that you see on the news and the media. Get out and be happy with people, talk, converse.
If you're going to argue about how to make it better.
Yeah.
Argue about all the good ideas everybody's got.
Right.
Let's not argue about negative things.
Right.
Take that energy. Just take all of that energy and put it into something positive, or even 75% of it. You can keep 25% of grumpy if you want, but take a good portion of that and put it towards something positive. And my goodness.
I mean, and you look at our community, that's the positivity that's in our community now. And it just keeps on growing and growing and growing. And gosh, we're blessed beyond measure here in Princeton.
I saw a couple of your future entrepreneurs that'll be a member of your chamber at some point. Of course, Chevy had her lemonade, Summer Sips. She's got little Miss McGowan has got her Summer Sips lemonade stand, and she's got the popsicles over there too. Right. Well, Mr. Hilliard said he couldn't be undone, so then he had to open one on Maple Street, and he had hot dogs and cookies along with his. I'm telling you, I think that's a great example, though, of what's to come. Yeah. And when your community, when these kids start emulating and wanting their own business because they see other people owning businesses, and suddenly, they're growing up to believe they can.
Yeah.
It's like, I can be a business owner.
Yeah.
And I think that's fantastic. I think that's a strong message for kids.
And especially the want to work. Because, a lot of, I know how it was growing up. You didn't, you wanted to sit in and play video games, but then you also, you want to get out and pay for your car and pay for your gas and be independent. And you see all that,
Well, I think his Mr. Hilliard, I'm sorry. Mr. Hilliard is the CEO of his lemonade stand. I think his mama said that he wanted to buy a video game unit, but he had already done it in the first day, and then he did it again the next week.
Yeah.
So, and he comes up with bigger and better ideas every week. Yeah. But I think that's cool, though. I think that's our kids really putting some positive impact in the community. And when we have a young mayor like we do, that like you were talking about, look at these roads.
Yeah. I know what
they needed it.
Yeah, it's like I know my daughter. She loves playing The Sims and building all the towns and everything. I ain't gonna
lie, my people die a lot on that game. I can't do it.
And that's the way I look on this. You've got someone young, and it shows what you can do. Because when I was that age, gosh, I don't know what my ambitions were, but I think I was 25, 26, just got married. So that's where I was at, to be a mayor and have that, putting all that, gosh.
Well, I think it shows them they can. Yeah. I think that's the biggest part of it. Yeah. Any kid, I think, has aspirations. It's, whether we mold those and throw some fertilizer and Miracle Grow on those or where we squash them.
Yeah.
And, I think as long as we don't ever say, look, no, you can't.
Yeah.
Why? No, you can't.
Right.
Don't say that to a kid. Yes, they can.
It's that want to, and when they have that drive. It's like my wife is a big proponent of, she's a go-getter. She goes out and she sees something, she's going to get it and go after it. And I've always
love her.
I love her too. I'm a little fond of her, but I've always been the more reserved person. And she says, "No, you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone and go do it." And so here I am now. So that's
well, and I think that's you and I've also talked about the social media side of that.
Yeah.
If nothing else, I think during COVID, what we've learned is a lot about social media, how to use it to your benefit.
Right.
And internet as a whole. It doesn't even have to be social media, but it could be the internet, your websites and people ordering online. And that's kind of your thing, and it is digital marketing.
Right. That's what the chamber, that's where we're more geared towards now is, of course, we're still out and about in, checking on our businesses and whatnot, but that's where it's all geared towards now is the social media and, the internet. And you see with during the quarantine, all the businesses, they had to adapt and adjust to their environment, what was going on now. And you see all of them went to online ordering or, pick up ordering. And so, that's where it's headed. It's not the old times like, get up and go to the store, and
But at the same time, though, I think, like even now with local radio, with you and I here, this is as local as it gets. And I think that it was actually a good thing. I think it really did show that, hey, we can do both at the same time and we can do it successfully. Right. And I think that's what everybody kind of did, is they communicated, I think, and got creative in how to do so.
And that's the thing about it. You can still, because I know change is not, I don't like change. Nobody likes change. And I think when you get older, you set your ways. I never understood that when I was a kid. You'd hear, well, he's setting his ways or what. And I know at 43, I'm dating myself now. But,
why? Because I don't want to have to learn something new. I already learned it 5 times.
Exactly.
Why am I going to learn it again?
Exactly. But you can still hold on to what you know, but just adapt it. Right. And that's where we're at now, is adapting to everything. And of course, you and I both, we've grown up in this social media. We're introduced to computers at a young age.
Old dog, new tricks.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Well, and I think, again, with Shane Bogle and a lot of the ones at the Extension Office, the UK Center, they've even, evolved where it comes from a lot of the new technology, even for sampling and the way that the webinars are being done and that sort of thing. Yeah. I think, if we use it as not necessarily instead of, but in addition to, I think it's a really good tool.
It is, and it's just like with our chamber meetings. We've been doing a go-to meeting. That's how we've been doing our chamber meetings, and it's great that we can do that we have that technology to do it. So when you have that technology there to do it, adapt. Don't fall behind because it's pouring down.
If you hear the roar behind, I think my eyes got really wide there for a minute because I was like, is that the air conditioning? What? And it's the rain. It's the sound of the rain. I'll tell you, you talk about cleaning the mud out of the Sahara. That it's giving it a whirl. Of course, in case you missed it a few minutes ago, we are under a flash flood warning for our area. So they did kick in and go ahead and make that watch a warning. And I would assume that this is why, Chad.
I would think so.
I think this is what they call the proverbial cats and dogs, because it's really coming down. So no joke, if you are out on, I've seen the traffic is kind of slowed down, and I don't see as many people out right now. But it does look like it's kind of foggy and hazy, and this rain is actually coming down hard enough. It's bouncing off the pavement, and you get this kind of film, and fog almost right there at the ground level. Where the heat is kind of dissipating. So it's just not a great time to be out. If you don't have to be out, don't get out. If you got to go to work, go to work. But unless you have a Dairy Queen fix you want to fix.
Well, that's what I was going to...
It opened at 6.
I was going to say, it's humid and hot and pouring down rain. It's a it's a good day for a blizzard, isn't it?
I love it. I really do. And if my son said, you love everything. I do not. I promise I don't. But I do love that. I think that that's amazing. And, of course, it kicked open at 6 o'clock this morning with breakfast in the breakfast bowls.
Yeah.
And they've got every kind of ice cream imaginable. I love the whole reason why they're named the owners or the company 14 Foods. The reason why. I love it when you can look back and say, this is why I did something. They have a purpose.
Isn't that great? That is really great.
With that being based on, feeding the 5,000.
Yeah, Matthew chapter 14. I thought when I was talking to the marketing director a couple of days ago, she was explaining that to me, and I thought, because I didn't know that.
Right.
And I thought, how great is that, and I think that goes to show their success. So.
I'm hoping so, because I will tell you, I hope they're just wildly successful again, having them here, because not only is it just cool to have them back, but when you've got a company like that, they've already said, Mr. Clark said yesterday, we are investing in this community.
Yeah.
We are, we plan on being involved in these sports teams and in the schools and with the kids and organizations and charities here. And, they come in with that intention. And, when you've got something where, when I asked him about the Bible verse yesterday, he said, yes, that's a big part of, of our faith is a big part of our company. Yeah. And I think that's a great fit for this area and for Princeton, and I think we should be proud of them and tell them how much we appreciate them. Show them how much we appreciate them. And, I know in years past, and in the last several months, I have seen them. I've seen people come out in droves. And we got a number this morning. I very rarely do I not make it through a newscast where I get choked up or something happens. And you always, I can pretty well swallow that lump in your throat, but I almost didn't do it today, Chad. I almost didn't do it.
Yeah. King's
Kitchen. You want an update on the number? Because I had not seen the monetary number until I read the newscast this morning.
What is it?
$23,000.
Really?
I'm telling you, I almost broke down crying in the middle of the news. I mean, that's a heck of a lump.
It is. That's
taken care of this year, and they said the money, will of course roll over into next year's, and I will tell you that goes a long way. And now we're not really worried about next year's. And Leanne Gilkey sat right there in front of me the other day when we had that big foodathon that day, not too long ago, and I said, Leanne, aren't you nervous? I said, girl, I'm nervous. I want to because they needed it. They needed that money this year, and I don't know if a lot of people understood how badly that money was needed to feed those kids. It was a dire thing this year. And Leanne said, I'm not worried.
No.
The Lord will provide. I'm not worried.
Exactly.
And I was like, but I am. And she goes, oh, no. You don't need to be worried about it.
Yeah. And that's something I talk to my wife about all the time. When things get down, I say, God's got it. He's going to take care of it, and He always does. He always does.
$23,000. God bless every single one. I said I've never been more proud to live where I live and to be from where I'm from than I am. Well, that was several weeks ago, and you know what? I'm not going to be any more proud if the number just keeps going up. I'm just saying that is something that to me that's feeding the 5,000 with a couple of fish. That is exactly what happened.
What that means too. That's exactly.
If you knew where they started from this year and with what little they started with, and now to get to 23,000, that's God working in a community.
That is. I mean, and that's why our community is so blessed. Because we give it. You see our community. We're very, which I'm proud to be from Princeton, but that's why you see our community so thriving, is because God's here.
Well,
I'm not trying to get all preachy, but I mean, it's.
We don't have a lot of quit in us. I think we're stubborn, we're competitive, and
Right.
But that big banner that says the greatest comeback of all time that you drive under, that gives me goosies every time I drive under that thing. For downtown Princeton. The reason that is there is because of everyone that lives in our community.
Exactly.
And that is everyone made it happen.
Right.
It's a we thing, not a me thing. And that's, I think that's amazing.
Right. You don't see everybody just raising their hands. I'm the one who did it. It's look what we did. You know.
So much fun. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Of course, I know we've got the big deal over at Dairy Queen today. Of course, we're going to be there at 1 o'clock, and we're going to give away some goodies. And you know what? My mama used to tell me, get out in the rain. You ain't going to melt.
No, you're not.
I mean,
cool you off today.
I used to think I was sweet enough to, but she'd say, you're not going to melt. So go over to Dairy Queen and get you some ice cream.
Yeah.
We'll get you some free stuff while we're there. And, of course, they're going to do a little ribbon cutting at 10:30,
10:30 is going to be the ribbon cutting. So, we're going to be out there and just meeting and greeting everybody. And
70 jobs just from there.
Yeah. Excited.
Thank you so much. I guess I'll see you later. What kind of ice cream are you going to get?
I don't know. Maybe all of it. If they'll let me taste all of it.
I started thinking about it. Like, what is the very first thing I want to get at Dairy Queen? What's the first thing that I want to get?
There's two. I like the breaded mushrooms.
Oh, I love those.
An Oreo Blizzard.
See, that's me.
Yeah. Those two things.
That's why I could get along, see?
Yeah.
It's something about ice cream flavors. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, there is a flash flood warning, and there's an ice cream happiness smile warning over at Dairy Queen. And, of course, Chad Oliver from the Chamber of Commerce right here at the Princeton Caldwell Chamber of Commerce, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course, it's 8:48. We're going to change gears just a little bit and head to Fredonia and talk to Gilbert's next.
Local businesses have supported us in every regard. Now it's our turn to support them. Here's a way you can help.
There's never been a more important time than now to support local. When we say support local, we are referring to supporting our local business community, our local church families, our local clubs and organizations. There are many ways to show your support. Shopping locally first and foremost. Sharing positive messages about your efforts to support local. And yes, simply being kind, appreciative, and understanding of business owners, community leaders, friends, and neighbors who are working night and day to help our region have the greatest comeback of all time. This is Beth Mann with the Edge Media Group asking you, please support local.
The Edge Media Group encourages you to support local. Be sure to post what you're doing to show your support. #SupportLocal.
When someone walks in the door of our funeral home, we understand they're facing some very difficult times in their life. I want people to know that in addition to being a funeral director, I'm a person just like they are. I've sat on the other side of that table making arrangements for my father. I remember that day. Hi, I'm Jonathan Goodman from Goodman Funeral Home. I think you'll find our prices to be very competitive. Be assured that quality and respect are always guaranteed. Give us a call today at 365-3838.
Hot days are coming, and some in our communities need help to stay cool. You can assist when you support PACS, as they find those in need in 9 surrounding counties and provide them with fans to stay cool. Find out more at WPKYonline.com.
1580, 103.3 WPKY. And, of course, we had to switch gears here for just a second, but I'll tell you where we're going. Instead of being in the rain in Princeton, we're going to go and straight to Fredonia and talk to Johnny Gilbert. How are you this morning, sir?
I'm doing good. You?
Well, I might be a drowned rat. I'm doing better than Chad Oliver is right now because he just had to walk to his car.
Yeah, well, I've already been wet once, so I'm just drying off.
Well, my grandma used to tell me I wouldn't melt.
No, there's other options.
Well, I'll tell you, of course, you are evidently responsible. Gilbert's Wood and Knife is your shop that you've got going there. And evidently, tell me about this knife that you made.
Well, it is, I hand-forged it. It's got a deer antler handle. And I believe I think the whole thing is 16 inches long.
Wow.
But I made it for trying to raise money for the Veterans Memorial. And Brother Presley asked me, can you make something? I said, yeah. So it's sitting at Actors right now and everything. We're just trying to raise money for that. That's what we're doing with it.
Well, where'd you learn to do all that?
I don't know. It just happened. I've been doing this the knives. I've been making stuff out of wood forever, but the knives started about a year and a half ago. And then I started piddling and everything else. Then Nikki Baker asked me, could I make 18 railroad spikes. And I did, and they went to the Wounded Warriors.
Oh, neat.
And they give them to the Wounded Warriors, and they come in, I think, last year for turkey season.
Huh.
And so then Brother Presley come up with this idea. He wanted to do something last year for Thunder in the Valley for World War II and Korean War veterans. So I made 14. But I mean, my thinking of that, which I make them and I give them to them. I don't charge for none of it and everything. But you don't get to make a knife for a World War II veteran and present it to them. I know where every one of them went, and the Korean War veteran knives, and I got letters back from some of them, and that's worth every penny of it. But
well, bless your heart.
So that's how it got started, and then it just went from one thing to the next and everything. So, but now I got knives up here, and I got to make some more and everything. But the one in Fredonia, that means a lot and everything, because that's what we're doing and everything. I'm a veteran, but that doesn't make the other guys are the ones that didn't come home and everything else. That's what it means.
Well, now tell me, what branch of the service are you a veteran from?
I spent 15 years in the National Guard.
Oh, bless your heart. Well,
And
thank you
this
very
is-
much for your service.
I appreciate that. But this, it's not for me. It's, I'm just the guy that puts them together. And then I donate them and everything. I mean, but when you get sit there and you get a letter back from a World War II veteran and everything that are still here and everything. I mean, I made 3 of them, and 11 of them was Korean War veterans. And I know every one of them. I mean, I work for every one of them and everything, and it means a lot. When you go see somebody at the store or stuff like that, and they say, thank you, and that's all you need.
My uncle is actually a Korean War veteran.
Yeah. I appreciate every one of them. I told him, I said, it wasn't for these guys and gals and everything else, you don't know what this old world would be like.
Well, I think that is, if more people could remember what you said right there.
Yeah, that's it and everything. But, Presley come up with the idea. I said, okay, I made 14 knives in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And it was I said, yeah, so let's go for it. But the one I made, it's at Anchorage. It will be set up over at Thunder in the Valley. I hope people come buy tickets on it, because I think they're $5 a piece or 5 for $20. So we can raise money for the Veteran Memorial, so we can honor these guys and gals that, that's not here no longer, or the ones that are still here and everything.
Now,
so,
you said you could buy the tickets at Anchorage's?
You can buy the tickets at Anchorage's right now. That's the only place we could put the knife because of what was going on.
Right.
And everything. And it is sitting at Anchorage's right now. I'm going to bring it back up here, and I'm going to clean it. I'm going to redo it a little bit. It will be set at, I don't know where Presley's going to have it at. It'll be sitting at Thunder in the Valley. Come buy a ticket. Somebody's going to win it. It is hand-forged. It's not something you're going to find off the shelf. And
I will tell you, it's beautiful.
Well, I made another one almost identical to it. And Nikki Baker, the guys from Wounded Warriors come to my shop, and I give it to Nikki Baker. I made it, and I hand forged it. It went to Florida to an auction, a nationwide auction for the Wounded Warriors and everything.
Wow.
And that one brought $1,600 something.
Well, I don't doubt it, because I'll tell you, with that antler handle and the way you've got it sitting on that little stand there with the antler stand and all of that, that is just beautiful.
Well, I've made them out of everything. Now, I made 12 for Christmas last year. I mean, I've had people bring me up here. I made some out of wrenches. Now, here's my my doings of making a knife is not like everybody makes knives, okay? You bring me a bucket of junk with your grandparents or your daddies or something like that. I need to steal, I need this. I mean, if I ain't got it, I'll find it. But when you can take a foul point, although it was his grandfather or his father's, and it's over 100 years old. And I cut 3 blades out of it. I made 3 knives with it, and that was Christmas present. But you got to realize that was their great grandfather's.
Right.
It's not. It's a knife, but what it is history. You know, you're sitting there, you look at it, and you sit up there. That was my great grandfather's. It's something you'll never have again, and I'm just guy that makes them. I mean, it's just, I don't know how it happened or why it happened, but I just started doing it. But I've got them to where they are, Christmas, they brought me a draw knife. One guy brought me a draw knife. I took the deer antlers, put it on the handles. I put quarters in it the year the kids were born. I put a 30-30 hole in the handle of what they shot it with. But the draw knife was their great-grandfather's. So you sit there, and I tell him, I said, you put it back point to point 20 years from now. And he's got the picture of the draw knife where I cut it. And you put it back together, and it's your great-grandfather's draw knife.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I kind of like the hubcap clock.
You like the hubcap clock? We got stuff. I mean, this little building ain't that big. I've got a hubcap clock I sure weighs forward, so I didn't want to get a fight going on.
Uh-oh.
I've got flags made out of tobacco sticks. I've got lamps made out of milk cans. I've got, you just got to look up on Facebook. That's where it's all
and there's
at.
even one of them where there's a technique where you actually add electricity to wood.
Oh, yeah, I can light it up.
And
I can burn it.
That thing was really neat. And then there was another one where you made an American flag for a Father's Day gift, I think.
I did, and I turned around and made another one. It's hanging in here. It's made out of tobacco sticks with 50 shotgun holes.
Oh, is that what those were?
50 shotgun holes.
Oh,
yes.
wow. Well, and you've even got antler chandeliers and lights that were made out of old pulleys. And
I got the light is made out of an old trap. There's no hunting trap, and I got them from a little old lady, and they was going to throw them away, and I cut it, and then it's made out of a 100-year-old trap. So what I do is I take junk and make stuff, and that's just how it works.
Well, I'll tell you what, it sure don't look like junk when you're done with it.
Well, I appreciate that. I just got to get somebody to come here and buy it. That way I'll, keep the lights on.
Well, now where are you located at?
I am about a half a mile in front of Fagan's on 902 East.
Okay. Are you on the right or left-hand side?
I will be on the left-hand side. When you come down the road, you'll see a saw blade that's about 5 foot around, standing up on posts. It says Gilbert's Wooden Knife Shop. Just come up the hill, and that's where I'm at.
Well, I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see this knife that you've got. And, of course, you said that knife raffle is they can go down and see the knife in person and actually get the tickets for that at Acridge's in Fredonia.
You can, yes. And then Brother Presley will have it set up somewhere at Thunder in the Valley. And that I don't know what time he's going to give it away and everything. I think it's going to be right before the fireworks start shooting and everything. They need to come watch the fireworks. If you ain't seen these down here, then you ain't seen them, because they will blow you out of the water, because it's probably one of the best shows around.
Well, I heard last year that it was one of the bigger ones that somebody had seen, and I really heard that Thunder in the Valley, of course, I'm not going to lie, it is. It just flat is. You've got the gospel concert. I mean, it's just beautiful. What a way to kick off a weekend.
Oh, yeah. And you sit there and if you don't get a little emotional over it, then I don't know. But, I mean, you ought to, because it's the meaning of it and everything. That's the way I look at it. And they start doing the fireworks and the singing and everything else, and they actually got good food, so we're doing good on that part.
Oh, they know food now, and Brother Presley told me there's going to be 9 different locations to get food.
Well, that's good because I didn't know that, so I'm going to get right in the middle of them.
Well, let me enlighten you. 9 different places you can get food. He's going to hook us up.
Oh, yeah. So you come get something to eat, bring your lounge chairs, sit back, and just, and everything. I told him this year I was going to bring my recliner so I can just lay back and look up, so it's just trying to bend your neck all the time. But the guys do a good job.
Now, I had heard that there was another Gilbert that did jewelry.
No.
No? Okay. I wanted to make sure before I said anything.
Now, Tammy sits up here and runs a little store. We're open Friday from, let me get this right, 1 to 5, and then Saturday, 10 to 5 up here. And we will be open on the 4th of July and everything. Just come up and look. You know, it's just different stuff and everything. I built a little building. It come off a barn. I tore the barn down. It's new construction, but it looks like it's 100 years old.
Oh, it's a pretty little thing. It really is.
Me and the
You've done a
grandkids,
fantastic job.
Yeah, me and the grandkids get out here and play checkers on the front porch. So.
Aww. Well,
And
thank you for being with us this morning. And I'll tell you, you are quite the craftsman. And we are lucky in this area to have some really talented people. And you're one of them.
I appreciate that. Y'all just come buy a ticket and let's sell this knife.
Well, I don't think you're going to have any problem with that, sir, because that thing is gorgeous.
All right. That'll work.
Thank you so much. I guess we'll see you this weekend.
I'll be there.
Thanks. Of course, Johnny Gilbert from Gilbert's Wood and Knife Shop right there just outside of Fredonia. And he's got a Facebook page right there, too, if you want to look him up. It's Gilbert's Wood and Knife Shop. A really creative man, and I will tell you, he's very, very talented. When you see this knife, you're really you're really going to want in on that raffle. You know, while you're over at Acridge's, of course, we've got that Cooling Our Communities. We're trying to collect fans for the elderly in our area from 103.3 WPKY Princeton, and in conjunction with PAX, Farmers Bank, and Acridge's in Fredonia and Eddyville. So, you know, maybe go to the Fredonia location of Acridge's and go ahead and pick up a raffle ticket or two for that knife. Beautiful craftsmanship, handmade knife there, even with an antler handle, just gorgeous. Of course, all the proceeds will go toward the Veterans Memorial. The future Veterans Memorial right there in Fredonia. And of course, the winner, I guess, will be drawn at Thunder in the Valley. And, of course, again, that's going to be this weekend on Friday, starting at 6:30. You've got your gospel singing. And then, of course, the raffle for the knife will be going on throughout the evening. 9 different locations of food. And Brother Presley said fireworks, huge boom, boom, bang, bang. Will start about 9:30 just after the presentation for the veterans, because that's what that's all about. And we want to thank them for their service, to include Mr. Johnny Gilbert, and thank him for being with us. I'll tell you, coming up tomorrow, if you thought we've had a lot of people over the last few days, you ain't seen nothing yet. I mean, we're flat going to tear it up on Coffee Talk tomorrow. So, and we've got a bunch of really, really great guests that you're not going to want to miss. I promise you that. And then, of course, at 1 o'clock this afternoon, we're going to be right over there at Dairy Queen. I cannot wait for it. It's going to be so much fun. I've looked forward to this for so long, since I first started hearing about it. I'm like, well, I hope they let us come over there. And they have. And we're so fortunate for that. We're going to be over there at 1 o'clock from 1 until 2. Come by and see us. We're going to have our WPKY gear over there to give away. So come by and grab a koozie or maybe a T-shirt, something. We're going to have some of that over there. Of course, pick yourself up from the grill and chill, and they're going to be serving smiles, and pick yourself up a Blizzard or your favorite treat over there. And of course, at 10:30, they're going to cut a ribbon, and make sure that you just go out and support our brand new business here and support the rest of them too. It's all about #SupportLocal, because when you support local, like all of you've done time and time again, that's what makes the greatest comeback of all time. And that's why that banner is hanging right downtown Princeton, because it's just exciting. So raise you know what? That flash flood warning is supposed to be in effect. The warning part of it, that watch, had been upgraded to a flash flood warning. And, of course, that warning is supposed to be until 2 o'clock this afternoon. And then I'm quite sure that watch will be in effect the rest of the evening and overnight, too, because that rain is supposed to last. They're calling for, this morning they were calling for 3 inches of rain. They've now upgraded that to 4 to 5. So this is a rain event. It is really pouring down right now. It kind of takes spurts where it'll do that, and then it'll give it up for a little bit, and then it'll come back a little bit. So keep your ears and eyes to WPKY through our website. We're going to be updating you on the weather, of course, as soon as we get it. It'll be on our free app you can download on your app store. That'll take you worldwide. Anywhere you go to work or to play or in your car, wherever you want to go, you can take us with you. Your WPKY online website, that's at WPKYonline.com. And then, of course, anytime right here at 1580 AM and 103.3 WPKY FM. So everybody have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow from 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Actually, I'll see you over at the ice cream counter, because that's where I'm going to be here in just a bit.
At First Southern National Bank, we place a high value on the well-being of our customers and communities. With that in mind, we are taking steps that demonstrate how much we care about you. Our drive-through lanes will be available for daily needs, while in-person services can be scheduled by appointment. Take advantage of our online banking, our mobile banking app, and a friendly team member answering your call. Visit fsnb.net to learn more. First Southern National Bank, member FDIC.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Penny Rowell Home Medical.
And here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast for today. Flash flood warning until 2 o'clock this afternoon for our area. Of course, flash flood watch in effect until tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. So that flash flood warning is the upgrade until 2 o'clock this afternoon. Heavy rain. Could be 4 to 5 inches for our area before it's over with. Localized flooding in low-lying areas. This rain is coming down fast enough and hard enough at a volume that is filling those low-lying areas up fast, and those creeks are starting to kind of overshoot their banks. So be aware of that. Give yourself plenty of time to and from wherever you need to go, and definitely diminished visibility on the roads right now in our area. 50-50 chance of showers overnight, low 70 tomorrow. That 40% chance of showers, high 86 turns to a 30% chance of showers and a high of 88 for Thursday. It is 75 at 9:09, 1580, 103.3 WPKY.